So testing, 1, 2, 3, standard comms, standard comms, chance comms, huge moment.
Good.
Cool. It's a catch-up game. One team's already locked into first, one team's already locked into losing finals. There will be no highlight moments.
Okay. That was a slow one.
It is self-indulgent on my part, if there are.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Sound up. Team sitting onto the pitch.
Let's go!
Midweek football is here at Geneseo Stadium at BT Connor Reserve. A catch-up game from the washed-out round 20 fixture between Heidelberg United and the Preston Lions. Just days before these two sides will end their regular seasons. Preston heading out away to face Box Hill United and Heidelberg away against the Essendon Royals. Differing fates await them after that. Heidelberg already locked into the Premiership. Preston Lions, they will be watching the final series from home pretty much, all but certainly knocked into 9th place. Nonetheless, games of football are there for winning, and these two sides this evening will give it their all in a clash between two traditional rivals in Melbourne's north as well. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for joining us on what is a rather chilly Wednesday night here on the NPL Victoria YouTube page, no matter where you happen to be watching from, be it here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, or indeed anywhere around the world. Both of these sides coming into this game off, well, results that they wouldn't have been hoping for over the weekend. Preston held to a 0-0 draw with Brunswick, just their third clean sheet that they've kept this season, so that was a positive, but still missing out on 3 points against already relegated Juventus. Heidelberg United, meanwhile, suffering well, a rare defeat this season, just their third on the campaign, and it was a heavy one as well, going down 4-1 to second-placed Bulleen. So, with finals looming and a few losses recorded by the Burgers in recent weeks, they will no doubt be very keen to, well, get on the winner's sheet and try to build some momentum heading into the playoffs. As it is Heidelberg that get us underway, kicking from left to right of your screen, wearing their yellow kits. Caitlin Carriage getting on the ball. Preston Lions wearing their home red kits with the black shorts. They will be kicking from right to left of your screen in this opening half. For the home side, they've got Maggie Byrne back between the sticks after Sophie Dean started on the weekend against Brunswick Juventus. One of 6 changes made by Preston from that side that drew with Juve over the weekend. Jade Feeks gets the start as well. Altalevski, Elia Lamont, Summer Kapanekia, Mia Power, Eva Harrington, Mizuyo Yamada, Emily Roach, Grace Johnson and Georgia Henderson. And, well, on the ball there you can see there's been a late change for Heidelberg United. Mia Bailey, the starting goalkeeper, just copping a bit of a knock in the warm-up, and that has led to Anastasia Kiriakou, the teenage goalkeeper, just 15 years of age, I believe. I hope she hasn't had a birthday since I last made my notes. Gets her debut, her league debut in this fixture against Preston between the posts. In front of her, it's a largely settled side, just 2 changes from the unit that lost to Bulleen over the weekends. Maya Hasten, Rosie Wild, Sawa Matsuda, Sarah O'Donoghue, Steph Galea, Caitlin Carriage, Tamar Levin, Molly Burke, Isabella Wallhead and Heidi Drahl. So we'll just pause here. It looks like maybe a potential head knock, which will just force an assessment, the HIA, the head injury assessment on the sideline. This play starts here. A few brave souls out here dealing with the elements in the grandstand at Jenna Steele Stadium. This, the final home game of the campaign for Preston, as Georgia Henderson eager to get back on and receives clearance to re-enter the fray. As meanwhile, Carriage gets another touch out there on the left. Forced backwards, but the ball eventually going to be whipped in, but just out of the reach of both Sawa Matsuda and Steph Galea. Matsuda scoring Heidelberg's lone goal against Bulleen over the weekend. That brought her up to 19 on the campaign. She's run away with the golden boot. As Heidelberg look to swing another ball in from the left in her general vicinity. Yeah, indeed she has run away with the golden boot. Well clear of Fujiwara Ari of Essendon, Valentine Percy of Preston, who's not on the team sheet today, and Danny Buttress of Bulleen. Josephine Olasino from Box Hill making a late charge as well. As Heidelberg United keeping up the pressure, earning themselves a corner kick that Tamar Levin will get across to take. In swinging right-footed effort inbounds. Rather spread out in the penalty area. The two sides, as it's a good delivery in towards that near post. And Maggie Byrne either to smother it and then collect it, and looking to get play going quickly, but there was a wall of bodies in front of her. Took a deflection. And Heidelberg in the form of Hasten coming up with it. Hasten now on the ball. Splays it out to the left. Levin's going to give chase. She's unable to wrangle it before it goes out. Mia Power out there at right back. Can have the throw in. Just Mia Power's 8th appearance on the campaign. Made her first start of the season in the draw with Brunswick Juventus. Feeks. First, sorry, not Feeks. Eva Harrington appealing for it, and Eva Harrington getting it. Sorry, that wasn't Feeks before, that was Haston, getting my twos mixed up. Burns delivery. Only makes itself as far as Haston. Galea. Matsuda. It's closed down quickly by Harrington, but the Burgers retain possession. Galea's ball to the top of the box, trying to open up the angle to shoot. Levin had it charged down. Haston's squaring ball, sold her teammate into trouble. Preston trying to swarm. Molly Burke battling for it and winning it back. Who is eventually working it to Carriage at the top of the box. Shooting from range, Carriage. Blocked away. All hands on deck for Preston. Burke. Sorry, O'Donoghue. One-two played between Haston and Galea. And Harrington on the scene for Preston. Putting the ball out. Once more, Tamar 11 will have herself a corner. This one from the right, so it should swing away from the goals. It's a lower delivery, cleared away at the near post. Potentially something on in transition would have been on for Preston. A lot of Heidelberg players forward, but they smothered that one down. Drell's attempted chip forward, couldn't find a teammate, but neither could that pass forward by Preston. Kapanakia. A rather comfortable touch for Kiriakou, who will relish any low-stakes opportunity to get in possession, build some confidence. Well, knocked forward, Matsuda. Looks like maybe she cupped a dead leg. A dead leg in the spirit of play, the two sides competing, so no infraction to be found. Wild, bit of a hospital pass. Preston pounce on it. Roach sends it out to the right. Players getting into the box for Preston. But none of them can be found with that cross. Levin. Good close control. Galea tried to just knock it up the touchline. Harrington was having none of it. Harrington looking to back up after her first full 90 minutes against Brunswick Juventus. It's been a regular starter and regularly on the team sheet as the Bendigo product, but got through the full game on the weekend. Haston forced to send it upfield, but Harrington was on the scene before Galea puts the ball into touch. Levin's attempted turn is snuffed out. Yamada got it to Harrington, but Johnston couldn't send it back central to the Japanese midfielder. Wallhead did well with the evasive attempts. Pass didn't come off, but Heidelberg can reload. Haston seeing a lot of the ball in these early exchanges. It's a speculative ball forward. That one from Wallhead, but nobody really in the vicinity. And Preston would be quite happy for the Burgers to do that all night in all likelihood. And the Burgers would probably be quite happy for Preston to play those balls all night. So in this midweek game, both sides coming off short rest. That one probably affecting Heidelberg more than Preston, given that they've got the two. Sorry, more affecting Heidelberg than Preston, given that they've only made 2 changes to their outfield, whereas Preston have made 5. However, it is Heidelberg making all the early running. They're going to have another corner here again. Through 11. The mid-season arrival from the Brisbane Roar, who has been a constant in this Heidelberg United side since her arrival. Another ball whipped in towards that near post, but this one, a bit too much curve on it, as Matsuda's, well, trailing leg was getting nowhere near it before it hit the side netting. So a bit of a wasted corner. Belair with the first time ball. It came up on O'Donoghue in a hurry. Fortunately for her, the bounce is Kynes. And now Carriage coming in on the right foot and burying it in that bottom corner. Struck sweetly, struck 2. And struck to give Heidelberg United a 1-0 lead. And it had been coming. Particularly on that left flank, Carriage had been getting into good areas, trying to cut inside. A lot of this game had been played in Preston's defensive third, and now Heidelberg United have made the breakthrough. And they draw level once more with Bulleen and Essendon for the most goals scored this season. They did enter this game on a goals per 90 basis as the league's leaders, but on the actual tally, given that Bulleen and Essendon have played one more game on them trailing, they've sorted that, and well, very almost went ahead there. A long-range effort, just sailing past the goals. And their goal difference now also back up to plus 20, which is level with Bulleen for best in the league. Bulleen moving ahead after that 4-1 win over the Burgers over the weekend. As mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Heidelberg United facing Essendon this weekend, a game which won't affect their positioning. As mentioned, they're already been crowned premiers. As Johnston charges forward for Preston, working against Haston. Both players kept their footing as the ball went into the Heidelberg box. And Kiriakou makes the collection at her near post to encouragement from the Heidelberg dugout. Indeed, Heidelberg can't improve or fall from their table positioning in that game with the Royals, but they can have a significant impact on who they play in the first week of the finals. Essendon locked into playing finals, but not locked into a specific position in the top 4 yet. Heidelberg United winning another corner. Indeed, plenty of permutations for the top 4 still alive into the finals. We'll have a look at those after Levin sends in another corner. They're already beginning to rack up for the Burgers. There's this one sent towards the penalty spot. Cleared everyone. Both sides giving chase. Wallhead getting there first for Heidelberg. Cleared away by Preston, but only as far as Hasten. She's closed down well by Johnston. Harrington winning the ball back well, but her pass upfield can't find anybody wearing red. And instead, it's going to be Heidelberg United reloading across the back four. And they'll attempt to find a way through or around or over this Preston shape. Ball sent out to the left. Good defended. Sees it cleared away once more. Heading into the final day. So the Royals, who will host Heidelberg, they sit on 38 points. So they can move up to third with a win. It's Preston bursting forward. Ellie Lamont denied with a good slide-in challenge. West Australian with 2 goals on the campaign. Unable to add a third there, although it looked like a good opportunity at one point, but you have to tip your hat to the defending of Rosie Wild, who has to get back now again. It's Preston with the early ball in from the right, but was always bending away, and Anastasia Kiriakou watches it bounce out for a goal kick. So the Royals, with a win over Heidelberg on the weekend, can move up to third if Box Hill United fall to Preston in their game at Wembley Park. Box Hill United, red-hot form heading into that game. 8 straight wins for Pythagoras, probably the most informed side in the competition. Box Hill, meanwhile, if they get a win, they can move up into second on the table if Bulleen fall to Brunswick Juventus. And that ball's going to snake all the way through to Galea, who tried to give it the early chip, noticing that Maggie Byrne was off her line, but didn't make proper contact. And there's going to be a goal kick. Now, if we get chalk in the final week of the season and the highest seeded sides win their games, that means that the opening week of the finals, the semi-finals, would see Heidelberg United hosting the Essendon Royals out at Olympic Village, and then a real box office content, Bulleen hosting Box Hill at the Veneto Club. Heidelberg United looking to defend the title they won last season, defeating Preston in the grand final. And players have been stopped here because I believe we've got concerns about potential head injury, was it? I think that's what the signal was. Sarah O'Donoghue slow to get back to her position. Fair enough, really. Head injuries. Have to be careful with them. Better safe than sorry when it comes to matters of the brain, especially when you are heading into finals. And no doubt the Burgers want all of their players fit and firing. Both Cameron Barrero and Aska Miata absent tonight from the side that lost to Bulleen on the weekend. They're both being managed with finals in mind, so should be right to go for the playoffs. But these are the luxuries that are afforded to you when you wrap up the Premiership with a few weeks to go. You can be smart with your selections and make sure that come the time of the single elimination games, you are cherry ripe As the Burgers are going to force a turnover high up the pitch. Preston gets back in their defensive shape and the block comes in. And the bounce is going to be favourable to Preston. Harrington coming forward. She's got Johnston to her left. And the ball bounces out in that direction, but Harrington kept going with it. Now Johnston looking to get it in behind. Lamont gives chase. He's able to wrangle it. The cut back and it's just put over the bar. Preston doing well there to construct their first really threatening chance of the game. Georgia Henderson just getting underneath it. Sending that one over, but a warning shot fired across the bows of Heidelberg. Reminder, they can't take anything for granted and that they shouldn't be doing things like that. Cheap turnovers in their defensive third, because Preston, even though it's been a season that hasn't gone the way they would have planned, still have plenty of firepower. And it's not going to be brought to bear on that occasion, as just a cheaper turnover as the one that gave them a throw-in is committed in the middle of the park. Matsuda nodded it on, but Talevsky read it well, knocked it back forward. Henderson sends it out to the right. All is kept in. Met by Matsuda, who lays it off first time. Levin forced to turn and look central. And she'll attempt to switch the play, but intended recipient, Donahue wasn't aware of it, but Grace Johnston was. The Burgers won't be punished for that one as it goes through for the comfortable collection for Kiriaka. Wallhead to O'Donoghue, who just hit it first time across the wild. Wild's ball forward will start a foot race. One that Talevsky wins. Her and Byrne combining with Matsuda applying the pressure. Preston not as clean as they would like to be, looking to build from the back as Talevsky's ball hoofed forward. Is sent into touch. Yamada sends it forward. Big physical contest. Play on is the call. Galia's in a bit of space now. O'Donoghue pointing where she wanted it, and that's where the ball was sent. First time ball. Matsuda's header, and it's a good save. Came up on Maggie Byrne in a hurry. And falling backwards. She palms that one over the crossbar. But well worked by Heidelberg United to tee up their talisman for a free header inside the penalty area. Low ball towards the near post. Matsuda tries to flick it on. Not too threatening, but it's going to come straight back. Levin on the left. Just taken the corner. Brings it back onto her right peg. Straight into the back of Carriage. Harrington had the ball taken off her by Steph Galea. Heavy touch from Wilds. Harrington wanted to get it to Johnston. Hasten sends it back to Kiriakou, who sends the ball straight back to her right back. Galea's run, that gets ignored. The ball instead knocks central, where it's picked out by Preston. Appeals for offside from the Berger dugout are heated. There's Ellie Lamont just straying into an offside position as that ball was knocked forward. So 25 minutes gone here at Jenna Steele Stadium, BT Connor Reserve. Score is Heidelberg United 1, Preston 0. Caitlin Carriage with the opening goal for the Premiers. But springing forward, Preston looking to respond again down this right flank. Opens up for the cross, high one towards the top of the box. Snakes all the way through. And Yamada's effort charged down before the counter is sprung. Galea had to go back and get it. Did so before Harrington could stick a boot in, but the defender recovers, applies the pressure. Yamada turns, sends it backwards. Subsequent pass can only find Rosie Wild. Roach collects the ball in the midfield for Preston. Good ball out to this left flank where there's some space that can be exploited by Harrington. And despite the turnover, Dan Foden likes what he saw, yelling out some encouragement. Certainly Preston were hemmed in quite significantly in the early stages, but now with just a bit more regularity, certainly not seizing this game by the scruff of the neck, but they are constructing some attacks of their own. As Carriage succeeded in keeping it in, but only momentarily. But it will be a goal kick rather than a throw-in. Roach gets the ball back. Well worked by Roach as Preston get it out onto that right flank once more. Only for the turnover to come. Heidelberg throw in. Just inside their half of the pitch. Grace Johnson had to go up and try to meet it with Hasten arriving. She got clipped by the Heidelberg defender and looks like she's in a little bit of pain, holding on to that left ankle. Did mention at the top of the broadcast that it is a chilly night here at Jenna Steele Stadium. You can see Johnston wearing the gloves. Those contacts, especially when there's not a lot of padding around the ankle. Straight onto bone there. They just hurt that little bit more on a cold night like tonight. Matsuda sends it central for O'Donoghue. She squares it to Levin. Thought about the shot, got it to Carriage. She's definitely thinking of shooting. And once more trying to bury the ball into that bottom right-hand corner. But on that occasion, Maggie Byrne was watching it all the way and watched it roll out for a goal kick. That ball went right at Matsuda, but the bounce was kind to Preston. And they are eventually able to clear it, albeit not to anyone wearing red. Still, Feeks putting a boot through it, as you would expect a centre-back to do in those circumstances. In the classical vein of the centre-back, at least. Wild's ball forward, goes straight to her opposite number in Feeks. Talevski looking for a teammate on the right flank. Lamont, her pass was picked out. Levin. O'Donoghue. Johnston stealing the ball back for Preston. Feeks to Johnston. First time pass goes central. Henderson sending it back to her left winger. In Grace Johnston. Right-footed ball to the top of the box. Now that is a very favourable bounce. If Roach can get it out from underneath her. And eventually she does get a left-footed shot off. But being closed down, it's sent wide. Kiriakou not called into action. And instead it will be a goal kick. Round the corner. Lamont did well to just work a defender underneath it and then meet it with a stinging half-volleyed attempts, but just getting underneath it. And again, the goal of Heidelberg goes untroubled. O'Donoghue going one way and then the other to escape the attention of Henderson. She did well. Now Heidelberg springing forward with some decent numbers of their own, only for the ball to be taken away. Good defending. Feeks poking it forward. Preston under pressure but retaining it for now. Peeling for the throw in, which they won't get. Hasten hurls it in the Matsuda direction. Comes out to Galea, who couldn't keep it in. Goes to Johnston, who has it just ricochet off her torso and straight out for a throw-in. Georgia Henderson barking instructions to her side as she wins the ball back, making a nuisance of herself. The captain trying to lead by example as that ball is sent in the Matsuda direction. He does well to take it away from Feeks and then whips the ball in. Carriage was arriving, but not before it was claimed by Maggie Byrne. She'll roll it short to Yamada. Harrington sends it central to Henderson. Battling for it. Knocked over by Galea. The two captains coming together. And it's the Heidelberg skipper that has given away a free kick. And Wild has to be careful there. She was playing a bit of silly buggers, kicking the ball away. Well, not so much kicking as flicking it away from where the free kick was supposed to be taken. Preston tried to say that turnabout is fair play and take the free kick from where she put it, only to be sent back to where the actual infraction was taken, and that's going to enable Heidelberg to get numbers back. And amid protestations by the Preston dugout, we will get our first yellow card of the game. So perhaps a little bit of spice, a little bit of mustard being put into this contest as O'Donoghue picks up the game's first slice of cheese for her foul on Yamada. Talevsky. Lamont out on the right, couldn't work the overlap. Matsuda dropping deep to receive. Burke sends it out to this right attacking flank of the Burgers. Hasten plays it into space. Foot race is on. Harrington and Galea, the former, arrives to put her body in position first, and she does well. She shields it and marshals it out for a goal kick. Donahue. Carriage now. 1, 2, 3 Preston defenders around there, but she got the pass away. Hasten, though, has the ball taken away from her. Johnston now, having won the ball back for Preston, lays it off. Harrington setting it upfield, wanted Henderson. Who did raise her arm in contrition, maybe for not making a run, albeit I'm not sure how many runs she would have been made that would have enabled her to grab that one before it went out. Ball knocked forward over the head of Matsuda. Feek's got the defensive header on it, sends it to Talevsky. Roach's header couldn't make its way to Kapanek here. Levin to Galea. Matsuda lays it off. Galea. High looping ball to Carriage, who uses that larger frame that she possesses well to shield the ball. The subsequent pass isn't a good one. Lamont now on it for Preston. And Mia Power, our right back, will see her side reset, and they'll come out on the left flank now. Harrington plays it central for Johnston. First time ball. Looking for the skipper Henderson, but just in an offside position. Don't have the benefit of replays up here in the tower at Jenna Steele Stadium, but that must have been a really tight one. Albeit could see hands raised in the Heidelberg dugout as soon as the pass was made, and at field level they probably had a better view of it than me. Certainly no one had a better view of it than our assistant who made the call. Wallhead sends it forward. Dinked in the Masuda vicinity, but it was straight to Talevsky. Roach winning the ball for Preston. Has 2 to beat. Shielding the ball from Carriage with Heidi Dryle in the vicinity as well. It's a good ball over the top. Preston threatening to get in behind. Johnston meets it. Johnston buries it. Sat up perfectly for the winger. And she made absolutely no mistake with it. Picking out that bottom corner, giving the young Burger keeper Kiriakou no chance. And just like that, this game is tied up at 1 apiece. Has been involved in the action all night as the Preston left winger, and she was ready there to meet it. Now this game back at 1-1. Heidelberg United perhaps bemoaning some wastefulness in the early stages when they were right on top. Preston working their way back into the game as this first half has continued. How long will this game be in an equilibrium? Galia's ball in, knocked clear. Johnston, the goal scorer, knocked it over the head of her marker, but Matsuda, the striker, getting back to win the ball. And the ball goes out to the left flank. Carriage. Cutting back inside again, had it taken away from her. Roach. Well, she had Yamada streaming through the middle. Said she turned around and went the other direction, and when the ball eventually gets in there, the turnover comes. Molly Burke going back to get that one. Ball head across the Wild. Ball over the top. It's going to sit up for Matsuda, who pokes it wide. And the 20th goal of Sawa Matsuda's what will be Golden Boot winning campaign goes begging. Really, you would have been backing her in that situation. Has been so lethal this season for Heidelberg, was so lethal last season for Keilor Park. And Matsuda did in fact score a hat-trick in the first meeting between these two sides. It was back at round 9 at Olympic Village. On that day, Heidelberg 4, Preston 2. Matsuda with a hat-trick. And Tarrant getting Heidelberg's 4th. And it was Valentine Percy for Preston with a brace. She's not playing tonight. Ernie Dryle whips it towards the top of the penalty area, beats the first couple of players. So 1 minute of additional time is signalled for by the fourth official. 1 minute for either of these sides to get something going. Byrne rolls it out for Feeks. Carriage got ahead on it, sends it back to Feeks. This time kept it close to the ground and more central. Talevsky. And that ball will go out, and that probably close to all that was wrote for this opening half. Can't be long left now. Roach. Can she spring something forward for Preston late? It's a well-weighted pass. Kiriakou coming out of her area to claim importantly. Because Kabanekia had an angle on that. She was going to get to the ball first, but denied by the Young Burgers goalkeeper at the last. And that will ensure that this game will be locked up at 1 goal apiece heading into the halftime break. Caitlin Carriage striking first for the Burgers. Answered back late on by Grace Johnston for Preston. And in this catch-up fixture, this catch-up round 20 fixture, we head into the main break, deadlocked at 1 apiece. You'll have the...
Let's go!
Welcome back, one and all, for the second stanza of this round 20 catch-up fixture between the Preston Lions and Heidelberg United, coming your way from Steel Stadium here at BT Connor Reserve. And if you are just joining us as play resumes, referee Jackson Trundle having to give a few bits of encouragement for Heidelberg to break their huddle after Preston were ready to go. The score here is Preston 1, Heidelberg 1. Well, but for how long? Well, a little while longer at least, as that ball is sent in but promptly cleared away. My name's Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for joining us on this Wednesday evening on the NPL Victoria YouTube page for this contest. It's now the turn of Heidelberg to advance forward, but that shot skied well over the crossbar. Some poor soul is going to have to go behind the ball and get that one as the new ball is delivered from the touchline. So both sides with some early opportunities. Looks on goal. After a first half in which Heidelberg started the game very strongly and, well, probably shaded the contest, but Preston did build into it as they come forward once more, but Samakapanekia unable to wrangle that one in. Preston did build back into the game, started throwing a few punches of their own and probably would have felt justified with their equaliser. The ball sitting up well for Grace Johnson on the half volley, and the winger placing it well into the bottom corner after Caitlin Carriage had come inside and blasted another shot into the bottom corner to open the scoring for Heidelberg. That'll be a foul against Steph Galea. Battled injuries throughout the campaign as Heidelberg United's leader, but she's putting together a string of starts as of late. This is now her fourth start in her last 5 games. So finding fitness at the right time of the season, heading into finals as well. Unfortunately for Tamar Levin, she's just been retired. Nutmegged by Eltalevsky. See the disappointment on her face as she looked back, but her teammates had her back. Now Matsuda on the ball for Heidelberg as they advance into Preston's side of the field. Levin. She'll be forced backwards by Kapanekia. Sent out to Hasten on the right flank. She goes central to Burke. Ball over the top for Galea. First time attempted cross. Charge down. O'Donoghue looks it down for Levin. Flicked on. Matsuda tried to just play it in behind. Not sure if it was for the run of Levin or Galea. Redundant now as it's cleared away, well, by Preston. Albeit some sloppy passing sees them have to scramble to put the ball out for a throw-in rather than a corner. Ball in the hands of Hasten on that right flank. And her delivery is over the head of Galea. And it will now be a goal kick as you might be able to pick out from the corner flanks here in Melbourne's north. The wind has just begun to pick up. Mercifully, the rain has held off until now, but that chilly wind coming through to add another complicating factor for these two sides. Levin came under pressure and gave away the free kick. Kapanekia doing well. O'Donoghue trying to win it straight back, but well shielded by Henderson. The skipper couldn't thread the eye of the needle with that pass though. Look at Johnston. Now Galea looking for Matsuda. Feeks for company. Levin and Karich in the middle. Galea now there as well. Can she find a target with a cutback? Flicked onwards, Levin with a header, and it's cleared off the goal line well. Maggie Byrne falling to her right, scrambling it out at the last. Now Lamont trying to spring defence into attack for Preston. Having to deal with the attention of multiple players before knocking it upfield, and goes down holding her right ankle. And is that ball going to roll out? No, it's going to hold up. Right on the goal line. Annie Drall just ran into trouble. The bounce is favourable to her. Rosie Wild knocks it upfield. Carriage, that's a good first time ball. Sarah O'Donoghue can look up. Ains put the ball far too close, and with not nearly enough venom to Maggie Byrne. Johnston, clever header to send it up the touchline, but Haston answered back well. Carriage, who's drifted central. Wallhead laying it upfield. Matsuda, good ball inside for Levin, but a desperate defending from Preston. It was Yamada getting back. Good ball in behind. Kamanaki giving chase. This was Henderson. They were able to wrangle it. Yamada heads it forward. Nobody there wearing red to meet it. And the Burgers will opt to get back, assume their shape, and build up the length of the field. First time ball from Matsuda. It's worked well. Steph Galea in possession, only to be charged down well by Talevsky, who's going to put the ball out for a corner, but the intervention was an important one, as the Heidelberg skipper was threatening to break in on goal. She's got one league goal on the campaign, does Steph Galea. As mentioned, she's battled injury and has had to come off the bench quite a lot this season. Anybody that's been watching the NPL Women's Victoria for any length of time knows that, well, she knows where the goals are. The high ball in, Byrne with the punch. Preston try to run the ball out, but Kapanakia has a pocket picked by Levin. Sees off one challenge before sending it to Carriage, who's been looking to cut inside and shoot all night from that position on the left. But you'd almost give her the touchline at this point if you were Preston, just to see if she'll take it. And O'Donoghue held up. Tricky footwork, not able to open up the angle. Harrington's ball forward goes into the lap of Hayson and deflects throw in. Run, begging for the ball to be played in front of her. Instead, she's going to have to go back and get that. And she spins away from pressure. as well to retain it because Lamont was lurking. Roach takes the ball back before it can make its way through to Carriage. Lamont, not sure if that was just miscommunication there with a teammate Mia Power or she was attempting to evade. Either way, she was able to recover with the West Australian and ensure her side had the throw in. Well, it doesn't amount to much though. Lamont. Central of Feeks. Try to lay it in behind, but it's picked out by Wild. Headed on by Yamada. Henderson knocks it over the top. Johnston has one to her name already tonight. Sends it central, but Kiriakou, in her senior league debut, makes the claim. Kiriakou, the youngster, has featured in the Nike FC Cup. So it's not the first time in all competitions she's pulled on the gloves. She's previously travelled to Thailand with Melbourne City's Women's Asian Champions League side in 2024. Didn't get on the field, obviously. Suda. Gets it to Galea, who keeps play move in. Heidelberg running downhill. And winning themselves a corner. So another corner. Certainly had their share of them throughout this contest. There's the side from Olympic Village. Kiriakou knocks it out to the left. Ryle claims. A crossfield ball by Levin for O'Donoghue. Harrington's on a bit of an island there. And there you see the result. Galea onto the ball. Clever back heel. Forces a sharp save from Maggie Byrne. Sawa Matsuda threatening to score a goal of the season contender, only to be denied by the Preston custodian. So to make a few important saves to keep this game locked at 1-1. And now Preston, I'm going to spring forward quickly. Lamont to Roach for an angle to test this young goalkeeper. Roach shooting over the top of Kiriakou, and Preston have their lead. They work the ball, they look to find the angle, and in the end the shot was lofted perfectly, placed where it needed to be, and from 1-0 down, Preston have fought their way back to take a 2-1 lead in this fixture, their last home game of the campaign. It hasn't been that happy of a hunting ground for Preston throughout this season. Just the 2 wins at home in 2025. Their last one came all the way back in May, round 10. 5-1 win over Brunswick Juventus. But now is we just await handover between the referees as well. Preston moving ahead, moving towards what would be their 6th win of the campaign. So, and one does wonder, for Heidelberg United, a loss today, when you take into account the Nike FC Cup final as well, in which they fell to South Melbourne, that would make it 4 losses in their past 5 games heading into the final round of the NPL Women's Victoria season. And whilst they have wrapped up the premiership already, so one piece of silverware already secured, the form guide, well, nobody is going to argue that 4 losses in 5 games is an ideal one heading into knockout football. And maybe it just raises the stakes a little bit of their meeting with the Essendon Royals on the weekend. You wouldn't want to be falling to another defeat in that one, particularly to a playoff rival heading into the finals, especially when such a result, unlikely as it could be, may force you to play a red-hot Box Hill United in the first week of the playoffs. Of course, plenty of football to be played until then. Just under half an hour remaining in this one. That goal to put Preston ahead just coming around the hour mark, so all this pontificating could be for naught. Johnston turns and sends it to Harrington. Get it to Feeks. The physicality may be increasing in this contest. Both sides eager to impress. As Matsuda looking for the answer back, but again denied by Maggie Byrne. She's having a good game, is Maggie Byrne, particularly when it comes to denying the Heidelberg spearhead. Harrington lost her footing, but was able to recover in time to knock the ball upfield. Galea was lurking. There's a couple of changes being prepared by Heidelberg. Bronte Peel and Liana Fortinos awaiting their summons. So Steph Galea, one of the players making way for Bronte Peel, and Liana Fortinos, the skipper, as is Molly Burke. Preston will take this opportunity to make a change of their own as well. Karina Todorova will make her way onto the park, placing the goal scorer And Grace Johnston, who gets a very warm reception from the Preston dugout as she makes her way off. Karina Todorova, 18-year-old, only other appearance this season off the bench, back in round 12. Academy prospect, 18 appearances for the under-20s this season. Peel, we're going to make an early impact for Heidelberg, but her effort to tame one. Straight at Maggie Byrne. Two youngsters on the bench for Preston, with the likes of Miri Nishimura still out, Emma Checker not available, Valentine Percy not playing. Mia Faniak on the bench for Dan Foden, Maya Kokarevsky, Tawana Kuhl, Amy Adcock. So the exuberance of youth, the potential weapon off the bench for the Preston Lions as Wallhead carries that forward. Matsuda lays it off. O'Donoghue was winding up, but the sliding challenge came in, as did a whistle. And here come Preston. Can they get a third goal? Challenge is a good one, no. Had to be well timed in the penalty area from Rosie Wild, but it was. You might notice in the middle, we also had a change in referee. Fourth official Angelique Mangian has taken over proceedings. Jackson Trundle now working as the fourth official. Not sure what has spurred that move, but I have to assume that Jackson has come a cropper at some point. Did disappear into the dressing rooms briefly, but has now emerged in his tracksuit carriage, cutting back inside, but her ball in the Bronte Peel direction is behind her teammate.
Come on, ladies, let's go. Come on, come on. Come on, Pregame.
Closing in on the 70-minute mark here on the scoreboard at Jenna Steele Stadium. Preston Lions holding on to a 2-1 lead. So Donoghue lays that one off. Wallhead had to go back and get it. Now Matsuda lays it off for Peel, who tried to play the immediate return ball. It was a very, very difficult pass. And Maggie Byrne. Roach around the corner looking for Lamont. Gets there, bit of shirt pulling, which is immediately pounced upon and immediately noticed by the referee. And it's going to draw the second yellow card of the game. Liana Fatinos, the newly introduced substitute. Just getting beaten for positioning and pace there by Lamont, and just grabbing a handful of shirt in response. Now Roach. Stand over this one, two-player wall. for the Burgers. Anastasia Kiriakou barking instructions from her goal line. Now Roach pointing. Is that an augur of things to come? No. She swings it in. Headed clear by the Burgers. Henderson gets there before Peel. It's taken all the way out to the corner, where it's last touched by the Preston skipper. And it'll be a goal kick. As that ball's gone out, and eventually whistle blows to stop play and give the throw in to Preston, just inside their own half. Went down early, on the back foot early, but in their final home game of the campaign, they've worked their way back into this one. Have Coach Dan Foden's side. Finish their campaign on Saturday, Super Saturday, every game across the NPL Women's Victoria, kicking off at 3 p.m. They'll finish it away to Box Hill. Carriage. Bringing the ball inside, hammering it in the direction of Matsuda, who can't bring it in. Goal kick, and it has been a brave performance by this Preston side, as mentioned, going behind early, and also undermanned. Using several difference makers against the Premiers, who are missing a few players themselves, but not to the same degree, perhaps, as Preston. Just goes beyond Yamada. Now at the feet of Matsuda. Clever pass to find Peel. Kept company by Harrington. Who did that last go off? At last went off the Preston left back. So the corners continuing to flow for the side in yellow and black. And they're really getting numbers forward, as this one is sailed in. Big mark by Maggie Byrne, who was fouled as well. Or did it roll out? Looks like it might have gone out for a goal kick. Still, take nothing away from the claim in a big pack. Paperwork being delivered for another substitution by the Burgers. Just over 15 minutes of regulation remaining, plus whatever stoppage time is decreed as necessary by our now fourth official, Jackson Trundle. Carriage shielding the ball again. Nice off Ellie Lamont. Ace knocks it forward in the Matsuda direction. Levin now to getting the ball back from Wallhead, who's rolled up into the sixth position since Molly Burke's departure. Hasten tucking inside as a centre back. 11, keeping the ball along the turf, getting it to O'Donoghue. Her attempt to spin and face goal, leaves the ball behind. Hasten lets the ball come to her, as well as a marker in the form of Karina Todorova before knocking it forward. Peel couldn't win it. Just a score of challenges. Now the ball knocked forward. And it's all opened up. Kapanekia, she's through with Kyriakou, who comes out, makes the good stop. Danger not cleared, however. And Kyriakou again. The youngster falls upon it. And praise for the youngster from the Burgers dugout, but also signs of concern. Very lucky not to be down 3-1 in this one. Both sides, in fact, have their keepers to thank across the second half. Maggie Byrne making a series of strong saves, particularly in efforts from Sawa Matsuda. And now Anastasia Kyriakou coming up with 2 saves to keep this deficit at 1. Now Hasten getting the ball forward to Karich. Levin had the ball come upon her very high, and while she was able to get the boot up, very difficult to control in those circumstances, and Maggie Byrne grabs the ball as it gets away from her. Feeks knocks it forward. Roach was surrounded and lost it. Now Tamar Levin. She's going to blast it from range, and it's going to hit the post. And then bounce the wrong way if you are of a Heidelberg United persuasion. There's a couple more changes coming for Heidelberg. That, in fact, will be Tamar Levin's final involvement in this game. She will make way, as will Heidi Droll. Scott Snitzer receiving some last-minute instructions from the dugout. And Catherine Vlahopoulos preparing to come on as well. So Scott Nitzer arrived at Heidelberg from Calder United in the off-season. 1 previous appearance on the campaign. Came off the bench back in round 18 in a loss to Box Hill. Vlahopoulos, meanwhile, who has been something of a super sub for Heidelberg this season, reprises that role. Has 2 goals to her name on the campaign, does Catherine Vlahopoulos. Certainly would be a very good time for Heidelberg if she could get a 3rd. Approaching the final 10 minutes of this one. Preston holding on to a 2-1 lead. Peel winning the throw-in on that far right side, stealing a metre or 2 as she sends it into Matsuda. Sends it back to the winger. Preston getting numbers behind the ball and giving away another corner. Have to be approaching double digits now. Don't have the number in front of me up here in the tower, but certainly feels like if we haven't already reached that number, we soon will. So Matsuda taking this one. Find it. the head of Maya Hasten, but under pressure, she's unable to direct it goalward. So Preston's lead remains in place. Preston Lions 2, Heidelberg United 1. O'Donoghue lays it off. Matsuda coming under for a lot of physical attention and winning the free kick. And Sal Matsuda was making like she wanted to take that one quickly, but surely in this position you go back, and as Sarah O'Donoghue is making out, you go back and you look to wind up dead centre. Almost perfect position, really, if you wanted to get something up over the wall and bend it back down. You got Carrick and O'Donoghue over it. 4-player wall for Preston. Maggie Byrne is pretty central in the goal as she awaits this one. O'Donoghue to take. O'Donoghue was able to get up underneath it and bring it back down, but was falling before it reached the goal line. It was fell upon by the Preston keeper. Power. Appeals for a handball against Wild from the Preston dugout. No whistle. But the hosts come up with the ball. Tawana Cool, who has come on as well, was the intended recipient. Couldn't find its way through to the 18-year-old. Roach giving chase. Preston have forced the turnover high up the field. Oliver quickly scramble back. Reclaim possession. Carrick. There's Vlahopoulos to her right. Instead, she's going to bring the ball forward. Caitlin Carrick. Skladnitzer on the left. Free kick for Preston. Tawana Cool has come on for Ellie Lamont, winning the free kick. Power shields the ball from Sawa Matsuda, who's running hard in these last exchanges. You know, as a striker, those missed opportunities she's had will be burning for her. Roach does well, shielding the ball and facing the right way. Cool. Sends it in. Henderson, cut back. Picked out. As far as Cool. A crossfield ball ends up being a good one, but the heavy touch. And Harrington can't get back and win it back without committing an infraction against Anastasia Kyriakou. Free kick, Preston. And with less than 5 minutes of regulation remaining, Preston, who will finish the campaign in 9th, retain their 2-1 lead over the newly crowned premiers, Heidelberg United. Sent into the top of the box. Bounces out to Carriage, but she immediately loses possession. Power now. Rosie Wild able to block it out, but unfortunately for her, did so with her face, Falcon, and then treatment is immediately required. Temperatures have continued to drop here in Melbourne's north as the evening has progressed, and well, the smack of the ball against the face on a cold night like this, not fun. As Mia Power makes way. Replaced by Victoria Momorovsky. So more youngsters entering the game for Preston. And Roach will deliver this corner in. But plenty of players back to defend a potential transition for Preston with that 2-1 lead. So we'll have to be good to get something from this. And it was a good delivery. But the header and that near post flashed wide. Tawana Cool, the youngster, just unable to bend it back around. Charge down, appeals for a handball, immediately heated. Momorovsky, going to make an immediate impact, but just unfortunately for her, as she pressed up and tried to force a high turnover, the ball bounces up into her trailing hand. And Scott Nitzer. Her pass goes behind Vlahopoulos. Big cheers from the Preston dugout. They know. With just 1 minute of regulation remaining on the scoreboard here at BT Connor Reserve. Every turnover, every stoppage of play, it affords them the chance to extract a few more precious seconds off the clock. Brings them closer to the 3 points. Heidelberg ball. And unfortunately for Heidelberg, after making that stoppage with her face, Rosie Wild is being withdrawn. Didn't look to be in too much distress, did Rosie Wild, so you'd have to think it's precautionary with finals looming. 5 minutes of added time is the signal from the fourth official. Nia Capitanio, meanwhile, has come on for Heidelberg United, and you can see her there wearing the number 11. She's immediately gone up top, so a shift to 3 at the back for Heidelberg as they chase this game. Peel Had 2 to beat, couldn't beat the first one. Play on is the call. Feek sends it away. Omarovsky trying to turn and face the right way. Turnover was forced. Capitanio ran into a bit of trouble. Good to see Capitanio playing. She's had to recover from an ACL injury at a young age. Crossfield ball. It's for Matsuda! Wouldn't have counted had she put it on target. And, well, in added time now in the second stanza, it really just doesn't feel like it's Sawa Matsuda's night. She's been going at a goal a game coming into this contest, but tonight, between maybe the radar just being a little off at times and some good keeping from Preston custodian Maggie Byrne, it's just not falling for the runaway golden boot leader. So free kick Heidelberg, and you can see and probably just hear the urgency as they go forward in search of an equaliser. But it's picked out by Roach for Preston. Peel wins it back for Heidelberg. Battling with Roach. And winning a free kick, one she wants to take quickly. There's no one open for it, so she'll go backwards. Switch of play potentially on for Heidelberg United. Instead it's looped forward. Cool knocks it forward for Preston. O'Donoghue winning it back for Heidelberg. Knocking it upfield in the Matsuda direction. Just lost her own footing there. And Preston take the gift and knock it clear. Now Feek's charging through. Just every metre gained, a precious one for Preston right now as they defend this lead. Heidelberg hurling themselves forward with abandon. Falls to Carrot, she can hit them. Goes down. No free kick. And Preston coming forward with the turnover. And we got a cramp. Back for Preston, and play will stop. Let's call it an exchanging of ideas between the two dugouts here as we await the resumption of play around the veracity of some of the free kick appeals in the last few exchanges. All in good nature, no doubt. Passions bubbling up as this game heads into its last few moments. Heidelberg send it forward once more, searching for an equaliser. Peel trying to spin away from trouble. Goal kick. Maggie Byrne, who's got a big hand in this, still being a 2-1 lead for Preston. Sends it out. Knocks central. Preston come up with it, and they've got the numbers advantage, but the pass gets picked out. O'Donoghue knocks it forward. Capitanio's going to give chase, but it's a forlorn one, and it's kept in by Byrne. because she wants to just extract a second or two before picking it up. Preston closing in on 3 points. And it will be a throw-in for the hosts. Henderson. Georgia Henderson leading from the front for Preston. Still running as if it's the first minute. Matsuda knocking it forward. Capitanio is going to give chase. It's going to bounce off the back of Talevski. And full time rings out at BT Connor Reserve. The campaign hasn't gone the way that Preston would have envisioned it at its commencement, but they will end their home slate of games in 2025 as victors, coming from behind to secure a 2-1 win over Heidelberg United, who fall to their 5th defeat in 5 games. And some pushing and shoving here between the two coaching staffs after the game. Coaching staff's getting pulled together. Well, tension's bubbling over. Nonetheless, Preston running out 2-1 victors over Heidelberg United. These two will finish their regular season slate on Saturday. Preston Lions away to Box Hill, Heidelberg United away to Essendon. Every game from that final round live on the NPL Victoria YouTube page from 3 p.m. For now, though, I've been Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for your company. Thanks and success.